All right, class, there's one more way we need to talk about how the Earth's surface changes. It's very specific to the area that we live in, as you can see in the description here on the slide. We're going to talk about Glacial Lake Missoula. You're going to take these notes on this note sheet right here. So you fill out this whole page. There's not a whole lot of information, but we need to get through this. And if I go too fast, please make sure to stop and do whatever you need to do back up so you can get all the notes. Anyway, this is a lake that was formed when ice blocked a river. And this glacial lake itself and the floods that it caused formed some of the land features that we see in the Mission Valley today. So let's talk about what that is and what some of those features are. Okie doke. First off, Glacial Lake Missoula itself. So how did the lake form? So the formation of Glacial Lake Missoula, the word formation is the one you need to fill in that blank. Anyway, during the last ice age, there was a lot more ice, obviously, and it spread south from Canada. You can see it covered Seattle and parts of Washington and spread down into Montana. And most importantly, in that red circle, there was an ice dam that blocked the Clark Fork River. And so the Clark Fork River couldn't flow out of the state of Montana like it normally does, and it backed up a lake that filled all the way down into the Bitterroot and also up into northwest Montana, and it was 4,200 feet at the deepest, like Missoula was 900 feet underwater, for example. So a significant amount of water was impounded behind the lake, okay? So this lake is associated with some floods, some pretty significant ones, because that ice dam couldn't resist the water forever. Eventually, the ice dam would break, and this would cause floods, and the ice dam breaking was a combination of water getting into cracks in the ice and melting it out, and also the buoyancy of water lifting up that ice. And the combination of those two would cause the ice dam to break, and it would release the flood water. And it was an amazing amount of flood water. It was equal to all of the rivers in all of the world today times 10. Was released in that flood. And the geologic record shows that this formation of the ice dam and the formation of Glacial Lake Missoula and the resulting flood afterwards may have happened in a cycle up to 40 times. So a significant amount of water rushing out there all the way through northern Idaho and eastern Washington and through the Columbia River Valley in Oregon and out into the Pacific Ocean. So significant amounts. So how did this lake and its floods shape the Mission Valley? Here's how. The first thing is the shorelines. This is in Missoula by Sentinel High School, but you can also see these down in the Valley View area south of Polson. You can see all these horizontal lines on the hillside, and that's from as the lake filled up and the wave action cutting into the hillside. So we see all these different elevation marks on the hillside in Missoula and in the Valley View area. Second is in the lake itself would be these icebergs, and in some of those icebergs would be rocks. And so when they melted out of there, or when the flood happened and that ice got delivered to different places, these erratic boulders got dropped in a lot of different places. And the farthest location that we can find is a rock from the Mission Valley that is on the Oregon coast. So we know that the flood reached to that point. Next up is what's called the scablands, and the scablands were formed when this tremendous amount of floodwater was released behind the ice dam, and it actually flowed out into eastern Washington and just scoured the land down to the bare rock and even took some of the rock away. And if you fly over it in a plane today, you can still tell where this area is. It's a very, very different area south of Spokane. And then these giant ripple marks, which are left in up by Nirada, which is north west of Polson. And these ripples you can see from a plane, and they're like 200 feet long and 30 feet high. And they were created as the floodwaters started to come out of the lake, just like you would see in sand or something in a beach. So these are all those different features. All right, what you're going to do in today's assignment, there's a worksheet. You're going to learn some more details about Glacial Lake Missoula. All of the information is on the worksheet itself. So good luck with that.